He's the, fucking Dark Seed.
Dark Side. Dark Seed?
Wait, is it Dark Side?
I think it's Dark Side.
It's spelled like seed. It's spelled like a German word.
Sade, yeah.
Okay, sure.
I just...
Dark Side?
Dark Seed. I do just love the idea. Just fucking Superman throws a punch and Dark Seed is just like, hey, you missed, pal.
What?
It's from Dark Seed 2?
The video game.
The video game Dark Seed 2, where
right.
the main character, there's a little hoop toss mini game, and the guy every time you lose is like, "Hey, you missed, pal."
Great, God. Early horror adventure games, not good. I mean, horror adventure games in general, pretty bad. Hello and welcome to Late to School. I'm Lorena.
And I'm Zach.
And this is a My Hero Academia watchcast, you bastard! I was gonna say it!
You also you started this so tersely as well.
Did I?
So, not terseliness, but very professionally, very direct and to the point.
Oh, I'm sorry to surprise you.
I'm not saying it was bad or good, I'm just... It was a unique energy that we haven't brought to the show before.
That's fair. This is a My Hero Academia watchcast, in case you missed it. Before we start talking about the episodes we're going to talk about today, I wanted to issue a correction from myself to myself. 13.
13.
The astronaut hero.
Yes.
We referred to 13 primarily using she, her pronouns in the last episode. Due to some accidental research, I discovered that might not be accurate.
Really?
The My Hero Academia wiki specifically refers to 13 using they, them, and their gender is listed as androgynous, which is, I guess that can be a gender.
Yeah.
If you want it to be.
Yeah.
And through some more searching, I found that, Morgan Berry, 13's English voice actor, who is a woman, but was told that 13 is androgynous and doesn't really have a gender.
Okay, that's really cool.
Also, the mangaka Kohei Horikoshi has said that he, quote, doesn't know what's under 13's suit.
Okay, so.
Which is a very I don't care what's in your pants way to phrase it, but that also could be translations getting inaccurate. But so 13 is from here on we should refer to them using they them pronouns.
Yeah, I love them even more now.
Yeah,
if by picturing them as non-binary.
So the first episode we're going to talk about today is episode 10, Encounter with the Unknown, which first aired June 5th, 2016 in Japan, and July 14th, 2018 in English.
Is July 14th a holiday? Why did that date?
I mean, July 4th is.
That's why I thought of it. It came out 10 days after July 4th. Also, for the record, this show is very lucky that its theme song is so good, because Hulu's ad partitioning is so bad. And also, Hulu ads lag like hell on my computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They don't do that for me.
At least some of them. It's weird. It happens to specific ads, but not all of them.
Specifically, the second episode this week has it's the opening.
Yeah.
Ad. A minute of a scene. Ad. the rest of the episode.
Yeah,
it's
very
fucking weird.
Also, of course, they also all start with an ad at first.
Right.
So when there's not a cold open, the opening is just bookended by different advertisements,
which is
or
absurd.
often the same advertisements repeated.
Yeah, it's not great.
Anyway, when last we left our heroes, which is a very accurate statement for this show, actually.
Yeah.
The villains had appeared in USJ, Universal Studios Japan, and everybody's kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
And we sort of, after getting that sort of recap, we sort of focus on a specific group of the villains, which are mainly Handman.
Yeah.
The guy with the hands all over him.
He's got, I don't remember if we described what he looks like. He's got, his hair is, pale blue.
Yeah.
He's also got very pale skin. He's wearing, very loosely fitting clothes. And he has, his face has a hand on it.
Yes.
That has, a bracer. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, some kind, a socket in the wrist.
And then
all the hands have, I think.
He also has hands on his shoulders and neck, I think.
Yeah, and he's got wires connecting some of the hands.
Yeah,
it's very weird. I have a suspicion of what the hands why he might be covered in hands.
Okay,
which we can talk about later. I could be entirely wrong. But yeah, the hand guy, the Shadow Man, who the giant portal man, who was the Grilby-esque bartender. And then of course Bird Brain. Right. The giant buff bird with the visible brain. But there's a lot more of them than just that.
Yeah.
And one of them, I want to say it is Handman who points this out. It's either him or the Shadow Man. They point out, hey, All Might's not here.
Right, yeah.
That's weird. I think it is the Shadow Man. It is the Shadow Man. He says, the only real heroes I see here are 13 and Eraserhead. He also, let me, because he has such a good voice, I keep wanting to, he's like, perplexing. According to the schedule we retrieved from UA, All Might should be here as well. He's got a very deep
It's very
voice.
Deep, yeah. His voice.
Yeah.
We may as well now. I don't remember when we get his name,
but I think we do, and I just didn't catch it later.
I'm just gonna say his name now because we're gonna have to refer to him a lot in these episodes. His name is Totoro Gary.
Totoro Gary, okay.
His English voice actor is Chuck Huber.
Okay.
Who is Android 17 in Dragon Ball. Also Emperor Pilaf in Dragon Ball.
Okay.
He is Sho Tucker in Full Metal Alchemist, who is the shitty man with the dog.
Yeah, that guy.
And he's Aleister Crowley in A Certain Magical Index.
Okay.
I've never seen A Certain Magical Index. I've only seen its side series, A Certain Scientific Railgun.
Which we have discussed on the show before.
So I don't know if that's the real Aleister Crowley, or if it's just a character who happens to be named Aleister Crowley. His Japanese voice actor is Takahiro Fujiwara, who does not have a lot of roles I recognized. He's Thanos in the Japanese dub of Avengers Assemble. And he's Valbar in Fire Emblem Echo Shadows of Valentia.
Okay. I like Valbar. Hearing his voice in English, and assuming it sounds similar to his voice in Japanese, I could definitely hear him being Thanos. Just, big purple superhero villains.
Yeah.
Also, hey, they had a schedule.
They had a
schedule from UA. Interesting.
Yeah, that's weird.
And then we sort of focus back on at the sort of top of the stairs in the big plaza area. The kids and Aizawa and 13, and they sort of collectively come to the conclusion that they had to have been the ones who broke down the gate,
right? The
earlier,
barrier,
and probably used the the press as a distraction
Yeah.
while they were sneaking in.
And at this point, Aizawa basically is like, he tells, I think 13 to get the kids out of here while he distracts the villains.
Mm-hmm. Also, Todoroki gets a lot of time to talk about...
Yeah, Todoroki basically, like, is analyzing the villains.
Uh-huh.
He points out, like, that the alarms didn't go off.
Yes. So one of them has to have a quirk that is suppressing the sensors.
Mm-hmm. Which I have to assume that they're off because the electricity went out, right? I don't know why.
Did the electricity go out?
At least all the lights went out, and the fountain stopped.
I guess that's true. I don't know.
Maybe it came back on at some point.
You would think UA would have backup generators.
Well, yeah. He also points out that, like, whoever turned the sensors off probably hid as soon as they entered the USJ.
Right.
So as to not, like, get caught up in the fighting and, like, have their quirk stopped.
Uh-huh.
And then Aizawa tells 13 to get the kids out of here and is like, I'm gonna distract them. Mm-hmm. To which Deku is like, hey, Professor, no, that's not what your powers are for. You're good for stealth and shit.
Mm-hmm. And Aizawa responds with a very cool line, which is, you can't be a pro if you only have one trick.
Yeah.
And then he just dives down the stairs.
He leaps down the stairs.
Uh-huh.
And is immediately confronted by a group of gun heroes.
Gun villains.
Villains.
Uh-huh. Well, okay, so one of them has gun fingers.
One of them has gun fingers. One of them is a lady who's got, like, gray, sort of dreadlocky, like, hair. That goes up at one point to do something.
Like tentacles or something. And then there's a big man who looks like a zombie roadhog.
Uh-huh. And the one with the gun fingers prepares to fire at Aizawa, but Aizawa...
His hands just click.
Yeah.
Because Aizawa has erased his powers.
Uh-huh. Also, Aizawa has put his goggles on at this point.
Yes, that is important.
And he basically, like, just trounces this firing squad. As they are like, who the fuck is this? What, I've never heard of this guy. What's going on? The big guy tries to, like, grab him and is like, I'm a biomorphic.
No, this is a different big guy. A different big guy shows up, and he's, like, covered in rocks, and I think he's got 4 arms.
He has a very Deadpool-esque face.
And I wrote down verbatim what he says here, which is, bet you can... So he, like, analyzes that Aizawa has an erasure power.
Right, there's someone in the, like, crowd of villains who is like, you idiots, that's a racer head!
And the other big guy is like, so you got an erasure power, huh? Bet you can't erase the quirk of a heteromorphic guy like me, can you? What the fuck does that mean?
What the fuck does that mean? I have no idea.
And the thing is, he's right.
Yeah,
apparently.
Aizawa can't erase his quirk and is like, yeah, but you can't hurt me if you can't get close, and I've taken measures to ensure that never happens. As he, like, punches him away and grabs him with his scarf and just swings him around like Mario 64.
This is a very cool scene.
It's very cool.
For Aizawa.
Yeah. It's pretty hot. Aizawa's pretty hot in this scene.
It's, like...
Hi, I'd like to reveal a secret I've been hiding, which is I think Aizawa's hot.
So the thing is, I did think literally the same thing during this scene.
Okay.
I can't judge you too hard. Heteromorphic. He's got a heteromorphic quirk, so that's a world-building thing we'll have to keep in mind, I guess.
I should have looked up if there's any deep lore that's not in the show about that, but I didn't.
Meanwhile, Deku is watching this and is like, holy crap!
He is watching this as everyone else goes to leave and he's getting left behind.
Ida just yells at him, hey, now is not the time for analyzing.
And he turns to join the crowd as they are stopped in their tracks by Kurogiri appearing.
Yes. he has teleported, and he very politely says hello.
We would like to introduce ourselves.
And he says, "We are the League of Villains."
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Just after, I do love after everything in this show so far, like all the superpowers are really creative and cool, and like most of the heroes have really creative and fun names, and then they're just called the League of Villains.
They're just called the League of Villains.
They're so close to just being the Injustice League. And he continues, saying, "We know it's impolite, but we've invited ourselves into this Hall of Justice so that we might meet All Might." And 13 basically sort of tells the kids to get back.
And they, like, lift up their arm, and a little cap on their index finger pops open. And they
say something to Kurogiri that neither of us wrote down or anything, or can remember. But they
tell Kurogiri that he's not gonna, get away with this or whatever. Basically.
And they're about to use their black hole quirk. And then Bakugo
and Kirishima
just jump around them
to
try to punch Kurogiri.
Yep. And Kurogiri's not having it. And he expands. He expands. He, like, his gaseous, plasmatic. I don't know what the fuck his form is. Expands to, like, envelop the students and 13.
And they're also, the Bakugo and Kirishima are in the fucking way, and 13 can't hit him now.
Right. And everyone starts getting, like, basically, like, buffeted by force of some kind.
They have force damage dealt to them.
We see Ida, like, grab Uraraka and Sato and leap out of the cloud that Kurogiri is creating.
Yeah. I think a few other students also managed to escape.
Yeah. Does Kurogiri say anything here? Did you write it down?
I didn't write it down if he did.
He probably says something ominous. And then we see a portal open up we, like, cut and see a portal open up in the sky. Or in the air.
The air. Not in the sky, because we're indoors.
Still inside the USJ.
But it is very high up, because it's a very tall building.
And Deku falls out of the portal into water.
Yep. And we sort of get his internal monologue as he's like, "Oh shit.
Well,
I guess that guy has he must have a warping quirk."
And he starts trying to swim to the surface. As we see a shark man appear.
Yes.
And, like,
we get his internal monologue also of him being like, "Nothing personal, kid."
Yeah.
As he's about to fucking bite and kill Deku.
Yeah. And Deku panics, but is saved at the last minute by Sue.
Yeah. Who I think she does she kick the guy? Does she kick the shark man?
I think she like incidentally kicks the guy because she's like paddling her legs to swim.
But does intentionally grab Deku with her very long tongue. Which I don't know if we've even seen.
I don't think we
her
have
tongue
yet
before now.
And she goes towards the surface with Deku in tow. And they swim towards, like, a small ship.
Yeah. This is there's also a text along the screen tells us that this is the Shipwrecked Zone.
We also, like, when they surface, Sue, like, gently drops Deku on the boat.
Yes.
And we see that she has also rescued Mineta, who is gross.
Yeah.
Says a gross thing. I'm not gonna quote it.
And then she throws him into the boat.
Much less gently. And
which is valid.
I desperately wish that his spine just broke in that moment.
And Deku thanks Asui for saving him. And she's like, I told you to call me Sue! And also, we get text across the screen and Present Mike's voiceover.
Oh, right, we get that now.
For Suyu Asui. Her quirk, frog.
She can basically do anything a frog can do.
Yeah,
Sue's voice actress is Monica Reel in English, who is, like, both of her voice actresses are maybe some of the most prolific voice actresses in the industry.
Really?
Which is surprising given how, like, she's not quite a tertiary character in the show, but...
A secondary character.
Yeah, Monica Reel has previously been Bulma in Dragon Age.
Sorry?
Nope, in Dragon Ball. Listen.
Bulma from Dragon Age.
Yeah.
From the classic BioWare character, Bulma.
Stalking in Pantheon Stalking. And Milla, the divine goddess Milla, in Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. And the eponymous Index from a certain magical index.
I didn't realize Index was a character's name.
I didn't either. I had seen that character before. I did not realize her name was Index. Her Japanese voice actress is Aoi Yuki, who is Maya Fey in the Ace Attorney anime. Futaba Sakura in Persona 5.
That's the one that looks like an inkling.
Yeah. Madoka in Madoka Magica.
That's pronounced Madoka?
It's hard to pronounce it right. It's not Madoka.
It's not Madoka, huh?
Lysithea in Fire Emblem Three Houses. And is the voice of Eevee in Pokemon, including the games now. As Let's Go Eevee.
Right, because they made Eevee a Pikachu.
Also a character they both share, unfortunately, is Tania from Saga of Tanya the Evil.
I have no idea what that is.
So, you know how anime fans like Nazis?
Fear has gripped my heart.
You know how anime fans like Nazis?
And
you know how they like little girls?
Jesus!
What if there was a character who was both?
That's... God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, It was maybe a mistake to mention that show, but I just thought, it's a character both voice actors voiced. Unfortunate. Also, both of those voice actresses have, a ton of other characters that I also could have named, but I had to limit myself.
Right, you kept it to the most important ones, which are anyone from Dragon Ball, the anime that everyone's heard of, and also Pokemon, and also Fire Emblem.
Right. And also Index, because I wanted to mention... I take any opportunity I can to mention...
That franchise?
That franchise with its names. Anyway.
The fact that Index is a name is just fucking... I love a certain magical Catherine.
Yeah, I think Index is like a hero name. I could be wrong.
Is Railgun a character?
Yeah, Railgun is a character and it is a hero name, basically.
Okay. I didn't realize Railgun was a character, though.
We'll watch a certain scientific Railgun at some point, sometime. I don't know if we'll ever watch a certain magical Index, because I never have.
Oh, man. But yeah, they're on a boat now. These three, Deku, Mineta, and Sue. And they are sort of strategizing and talking about, hey, this sucks.
Yeah.
That guy, they're trying to kill All Might. And Mineta is like, well, they can't do that. I'm not gonna do an impression of Mineta's voice, because I fucking hate him. And it's a unfunny fucking lisp joke.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, can I just point out another cursed thing about Mineta?
Sure, go for it.
I realized he has fucking Peter Griffin mouth.
He sure does. He's the baby from Family Guy.
He's Stewie, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can't kill All Might. He's fucking All Might.
Yeah.
But I believe Sue points out, like, if they came here with that plan...
They probably got some way to do it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I also may as well talk about Mineta's voice actors.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're going to get a better opportunity.
Uh-huh.
His English voice actor is Brina Palencia, who is Moxie in the Borderlands franchise.
Oh, okay.
Chiaotzu in Dragon Ball, who is a character I don't think either of us know.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
I've heard the name before. Is Tony Chopper in One Piece.
Now that's a name.
You know the little deer guy with the shitty hat?
Oh, is that Tony Chopper? Okay.
And also Ruiko Satin in a certain scientific railgun.
There's a lot of is that show made by the same studio as...
I believe that the thing is, like, the reason we are getting a lot of voice actors who have been in Dragon Ball and a certain blank franchise is because those shows and My Hero Academia are dubbed by Funimation.
Oh, okay.
Mineta's Japanese voice actor is Ryo Hirohashi, who is Kyo Fujibayashi in... I didn't write down. I didn't write it down.
He's Kyo Fujibayashi.
Clanad, I think? I think it was Clanad.
Okay.
Miles Tails Prower in the Sonic franchise since Sonic X, I believe.
Okay.
And Luna in Sailor Moon Crystal.
Oh. We might... Well, we won't hear her again. Because we don't watch the Japanese versions.
Right.
But, you know.
Also, both of Mineta's voice actors are women.
Okay.
Which, you know, I don't know how I feel about it, given who Mineta is as a character.
Right. You could make arguments for and against for various reasons. So yeah, they are discussing strategy and talking about this is fucked up. They are also now surrounded by villains.
Yes.
There's a bunch of other villains in the water.
And I think Deku points out, like, hey, the villains aren't attacking us, and also, Sue, why would they send you to the water place when you're a frog? And they realize they must not know what any of the students' quirks are, because otherwise they would have sent Sue to, like, the fire zone. And they basically realize that they can use that to their advantage. And
I think also at this point, Deku is sort of... They're talking about, like, how to get away and how to survive. And Deku starts, like, thinking about, hey, they have a plan to kill All Might.
Yeah.
And he starts, like... There's a really cool scene where he starts flashing back to all the things that All Might has done for him. Like, being his mentor, for one thing, and telling him what he needed to hear about him being able to be a hero. And also even, like, just watching videos of him as a kid. And I think we sort of see Deku's hand shaking, and he's like, no, we gotta fight. We gotta fight him. Because otherwise they're going to kill All Might. We have to help save All Might. And
they start trying to formulate a plan.
Mineta is not excited about this plan, because he's a fucking whiny baby who is afeared. I'm usually, like, fine with characters being scared. It's just because it's Mineta that I don't give a shit.
It's like, because, like, if Deku was scared in this scene, it would not be played for quote-unquote comedy.
Yes, and he is. I think, that's what is supposed to be indicated to us.
But Mineta's a fucking shitty pervert, and I hate him. They introduce their quirks to each other, basically. Sue goes first. And explains that she can jump really far, she can climb on basically any surface. Her tongue can go out about 20 meters. So we cut from Deku and Sue, and only them. They're the only two there.
And them resolving to protect All Might.
And we see, like, a montage of the other students in various different zones of the USJ. We see Earbud Girl and Electric Boy
and
Yaoyorozu, who are in like a earthquake zone.
Mm-hmm. And Earbud Girl has a fucking sword.
Yeah. I think we see Bakugo and Kirishima, who are in like
they're in the fire zone, I think.
No, they're in like a destroyed building.
Oh, right. The collapse zone, I think?
Yeah. The fire zone is Tailboy.
Right, yes. I think he's solo, too.
He's
right?
alone, yeah.
At least as far as we know at this point.
Todoroki is also alone.
Yes.
And I think is just fucking freezing a bunch of villains.
Yes.
We also see Tokoyami and the quiet boy.
Yeah.
Whose name we don't know yet. They're in the Squall Zone.
The Squall Zone.
They're playing Final Fantasy VIII. I think that's the one. I think that's the right one.
With Squall in it?
And
I think that's true, yeah.
I think that's everyone.
I think that's everyone we see.
The rest of them are at the entrance.
Yes, we do get a quick cut back to them, sort of just facing down Kurogiri still.
Right. And then we cut to All Might.
Yes.
Who is in like the teacher's lounge. And he has apparently like tried calling Aizawa in 13 and is getting no answers. And he is like, well, I guess I feel so bad that I wasted so much time doing hero shit that I can't maintain my muscle form. But maybe I could get like 10 minutes in, just show up at the end, you know, be inspiring. And he buffs up. And tries to be like, all right, time to go, and then starts bleeding from his mouth. And then the door to the lounge opens.
Yes.
And
we hear a voice greeting All Might, and I believe telling him to sort of cool his jets.
Yeah. And All Might's like, oh, Nezu.
He says, hello, Nezu, sir. And we see a little man.
You see a little
dog.
Well, what could he be?
Well, so that's interesting that you would ask, because he himself, upon hearing his name, says, that's me, the one who could be a mouse or a dog or a bear, though the only important thing is, I'm the principal.
Yep. He's a little animal man with white fur and a really nasty scar across his eye.
Yeah, even he's not sure what he is.
But he's the principal.
He's the principal.
Principal Nezu. Principal Nezu, for the record, is played by Jerry Jewell in English, who is Kiyosoma in Fruits Basket.
Okay.
If he's the orange one.
I know.
You don't know.
I know
You've
jack
never
shit
seen
about
anything
that.
about Fruits Basket?
Yeah, no.
Okay. And he's the only other role I could find that I recognized at all was he's the anguished one in Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2.
Okay. It's like, I feel like I should recognize his voice from something, because his voice is so familiar to me.
Well, his like, aside from the anguished one, most, like, Kyo is a very different voice than the voice he uses as Nezu.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know.
It's a very sweet voice.
Yeah. His Japanese voice actor is Yoshihiro Takato, who is Gluttony in Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh.
And Artemis in Sailor Moon.
Oh.
But he's the principal.
Yeah. All Might compliments his fur.
All Might gets down into a crouched position to look at him at eye level. He does what you shouldn't do.
Yeah, when talking to short people. And he says, your fur looks especially well groomed and glossy today, sir.
And Nezu is like, I think it might be the keratin. I don't think humans can get hair this bright and shiny.
Which...
Humans.
Aren't you one?
Is he?
I mean, that's...
He could be a mouse or a dog or a bear, but what's certain is that he's the principal. What's not certain is that he's a human.
That's not even one of the things he's listed as maybe being.
Yeah.
I guess does Sue count as a human?
Sue is a human.
Okay.
Nezu is a different situation.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay, I have no idea what could be going on with Nezu.
Sue and Tokoyami are both humans, despite having animal features.
Nezu very, very gently and politely chews All Might out for...
Like, tells All Might, like, hey, I know you want to save people, and I know that, like, you can't because you got fucked up, and also you gave your power away. And the only way that you can justify not trying to save people is by being a teacher. But also, stop it.
And he also adds, that's why I gave you this job. And then he says, we see in the background just All Might staying very still in buff mode, and slowly starting to smoke during Nezu's speech to him. And Nezu is like, that's why I gave you this job. Oh dear, you're smoking. That can't be good.
And then All Might poofs back into skinny mode. And I think then Nezu, like, crawls onto the couch.
Yeah, he's so cute.
He's very
He's got
cute.
these massive fucking shoes that seem like they'd be too big for his little feet.
Oh, also, like, when he's, like, chewing All Might out, he pulls up a tablet with, like, a news article about All Might saving all those people, and it's the size of his body.
Where'd he have that?
In his... You know? All Might also, like, waddles over to the table in front of the couch, still crouched.
I think maybe All Might isn't even... He didn't crouch to get on Nezu's level. He's crouching because he's in a lot of pain right now. That wasn't him crouching to talk to Nezu. It was him falling to the floor. And yeah, Nezu basically is like, don't exhaust yourself and do your job, which is not hero work right now.
And All Might is, like, begrudgingly like, yes, sir, I understand.
Uh-huh.
And then Nezu offers All Might some tea.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what he says he wants to talk about?
I don't remember exactly.
It's something about
ethical
pedagogy.
Yeah, it's the pedagogy of hero work using ethical quirk usage or something like that.
And All Might is like, oh no, I'm never gonna be free from this.
He internally monologues like he gets so long-winded when there's tea involved.
And I think we, like, zoom out of the school and we hear All Might saying to Nezu, like, you know, sir, you haven't changed very much either.
I really love their friendship.
It's very cool. We see like only a few seconds of it, but it's good.
Yeah. And then we cut back to the USJ, and 13 is still sort of trying to hold off Kurogiri from the kids. And they explain to Ida that they've got a job for him, which is to use his quirk to run real fast to get the fuck out of here past Kurogiri, who is blocking the exit, so that Ida can get help.
And it also like points out like they probably couldn't turn off the outside sensors. So if any of the villains tried to follow him, they would trip the sensors, which would just call more pro heroes, basically.
But Ida is like, I can't do that. I can't abandon you and the other students.
Notably isn't like, I'm scared to do this, but is more like, I can't just leave.
Yeah.
And 13 basically is like, well, this is what you came here to train to do. You came here to learn to rescue people. So use your quirk to rescue us.
And be a real hero. And all the other students start, like, giving him words of encouragement. Uraraka mentions, like, using her quirk to help him, like, in the cafeteria. At one point, the big guy in the yellow suit is like, go, emergency exit!
I don't know if we mentioned that last time, but there was a little bit where they pointed out that Ida looked like the little man on the emergency exit sign, and they were like, yeah, emergency exit Ida.
It won't be. I wish that was gonna be his hero name.
Yeah, no.
It's a good hero name, also.
It would be, yeah.
It makes sense for, like, a speedy guy.
And then Kurogiri is like, Are you really stupid enough to plan in front of me? And he starts to expand again, but then 13 activates
Uh-huh.
their quirk, Black Hole,
Mm-hmm.
and starts to suck Kurogiri into them.
I guess, yeah.
And Ida uses this opportunity to try to start running towards the exit.
Mm-hmm.
But Kurogiri can, like, apparently split himself.
Yeah.
And, like...
open up different warp gates.
Mm-hmm, and, like, appears in front of Ida.
Mm-hmm.
And for, like, a moment, Ida panics and tries to, like, back off and find a different way around.
Mm-hmm.
But then Shoji grabs Kurogiri in his arms.
Yeah. Just
and,
fucking
like,
tackles him.
Tackles him out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, also,
Uh-huh.
it's not going great for 13.
Right. The scene is hard to describe because a lot happens all at once.
Yes.
Kurogiri has also opened up, like...
a warp gate in him. That also leads behind 13.
And they are now, like, tearing themselves apart with Black Hole.
Yep.
And
it's not good.
Yeah,
it rips their suit open.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing inside.
So here's the thing. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about this. What if, 13's power is Black Hole. They activate that power by just opening up a little thing in their finger. Mm-hmm. And when their suit gets ripped open by their own Black Hole usage, all we see inside their suit is empty blackness. Mm-hmm. What if 13 is the Black Hole?
I think that's it. Like, people, no one else on the internet seems to believe this.
Why not?
Everyone's like, I wonder what's under 13's suit. And, like, we see what's under 13's suit, and it's nothing.
Yeah. Even the author was like, I don't know.
It's very weird.
It's just empty. I think they're just a being of pure condensed just density. Mm-hmm. I guess, hey.
They are a person, as far as I'm aware.
They are a person, yes. But also...
I mean, they are a human, as far as I'm aware. Of course they're a person.
Right.
Nezu isn't a human, maybe, but he's also a person.
Uh-huh. Now I'm thinking, like, if they are the Black Hole, and they are a human whose quirk is being a black hole, does that... So... are they they have a human's mass that is condensed into a singularity. So they're made of human parts, I guess.
Probably.
They would be made of human parts, but condensed into a black hole. And did that happen at birth? Because if so, that seems problematic.
Yeah. Unclear. I don't know if we know much about 13's birth.
13 is the most important character to me right now.
But 13
got real fucked
up and is out of commission in this fight.
So the other students have to just focus on helping Ida get past Kurogiri.
As Shoji, like, tackles part of Kurogiri, Uraraka notices his weird collar.
Yeah, he's got, like, a weird metal
like
collar.
Sort of inside the mass of his own black hole.
His darkness.
And she runs up as he's distracted by, trying to block Ida and also getting tackled, and touches it. And she is like, I don't know what he's made of, but he's wearing this thing, so that must mean he has a body. And she
somewhere
just,
in there.
Just yeets him into the sky, which gives Ida the opportunity to escape from the USJ, and we see him, like, running down the road to try and get help.
And then we cut back to the ship.
Right. And Deku and Sue and the goblin. I don't want to insult goblins.
Yeah, goblins are
boy.
Good. The shit boy.
Is
Mineta a fuckboy?
So the problem with that term is fuckboys are boys who fuck, but also, like, are shitty and awful.
Must they be?
I think so.
Okay.
Mineta is a soft boy, definitely. He definitely, like, slides into girls' DMs and is like, oh, I'm so sad. I just need to see some titties. God, I feel awful. I feel just
Yeah,
even saying fake soft boy shit makes me feel like an awful person.
You think it was bad saying it. I had to be here next to you as you made eye contact with me and said it.
I didn't mean to make eye contact with you. Listen, sometimes my eyes just look at things. They're formulating a plan.
Yes.
And they're, like, introducing their quirks.
Uh-huh.
Sue is explaining that she has all the abilities of a frog.
Uh-huh. She can jump real high.
Mm-hmm. She can stick to almost any surface.
Uh-huh. Her tongue is really long.
Uh-huh. She can spit out her stomach to clean it.
Uh-huh.
And her body secretes a mucus that is slightly paralytic.
Uh-huh.
But not too bad.
Mineta is very upset at this for some...
I can't tell if he's upset or excited.
I don't know what his deal is. Yeah. Half the time.
She's like, those last two I don't think those would be useful.
Uh-huh. Also, I do want to complain.
Uh-huh.
So she has a very long tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Which she can, like, I think she says she can extend it like 20 meters or something, which is very long.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's sort of a long, thin tongue, like a cartoon frog tongue.
Yeah.
But emphasis on cartoon. Frogs don't have that.
Yeah, no.
Frogs don't actually do that.
Their tongues are, like, very flat. And, like, they can extend.
But also so can a human's tongue.
Right.
Frogs do use their tongues to catch prey, but it's at much shorter range.
Right. Not even tree frogs have?
I don't believe so,
okay.
no. I think tree frogs mainly jump into their prey.
Huh, okay.
Sue has a chameleon tongue.
Right, basically.
Except also more flexible. She's a cartoon frog.
Yeah. Except for the spitting out her stomach part. That's a real thing.
Is that a real thing? Yeah. I actually didn't know about that.
I think it's only certain species of frogs, but definitely some of them.
She can hold her eggs in her mouth to give birth.
God. Oh, no. Mineta then explains his quirk.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, no. Deku explains his quirk, how he can punch real good, but it's got a very big drawback, which is that his arm is useless afterwards. So he can't really do much. And then Mineta explains his quirk, which is that, those grapes on his head?
Yeah.
Those are sticky balls that he can pull out, and they regrow as fast as he can pull them out. And they can stick to almost any surface. And
except to him. He just bounces off them.
And how long they stay depends on just how he's feeling that day.
Which is a very good power that I'm annoyed belongs to Mineta.
Yeah.
He does also... And they do just...
And this bit is funny because he explains all this and then they just stare at him. And he's like, oh... Don't look at me like that.
He's like, yeah, I know. My powers are useless for battle. That's why I was fucking scared. Which is a very funny bit.
And then Deku tries to reassure him that they just need to figure out a way to use it.
Yeah.
And then they're interrupted. By the villains. There's like a weird tiger shark man.
Yeah.
Who, like, forms a hand.
Is he a tiger shark man? This is the guy with the teeth, right?
I don't know how to describe him.
Characters in this show have very unique designs that we're not always going to be able to
He looks like
properly.
He looks like the Shape of Water.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different guy.
He looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
With the guy with the teeth?
Not the guy who tried to eat Deku.
No, he's got, like, teeth, though.
Yeah, and he's
bald. Got visible teeth, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he creates a hand out of water that he just cuts the boat in two. And everyone, the kids start to panic. Deku is like, okay, now's the time. And he, like, stands up on the edge of the ship and is internally thinking, like, just act like Kachan. And he shouts at the top of his lungs, now die! As he leaps off the boat, and prepares to smash into the water. And as he's, like, plummeting, we hear him, like, thinking, okay, I can't use all my power because I don't, like, the position they're in that's not gonna help us much. And also there are villains outside of the Shipwrecked Zone that we need to deal with. So I just need to focus on the egg. And he flicks the water. He yells smash as he flicks the water with his thumb and index finger.
In midair. And he flicks at the water. Because he doesn't actually touch the water.
Right. He creates like a shock wave.
That
creates a vortex in the water.
Yes. It's extremely cool. That starts sucking in all the villains. And he also, as he's sort of falling, he yells to Sue and Mineta to, now. And they jump.
And he's kind of proud of himself that, like, his arm isn't fucked up. It's just his fingers and his thumb.
Yeah.
As we see his finger and thumb, like, very grossly flop around. The animation whenever he fucks up his body is really good. It's just like...
It's very gross, though.
It's very gross.
It's sort of
good.
kind of Bloodborne-esque. Very beautiful, except also awful to look at.
And Sue grabs him with her tongue. And Mineta
is just sort of clinging to Sue's back. And just starts throwing his sticky head balls at the enemies. Which does actually help.
It sticks them to the water somehow. I don't know how that works.
I don't think it sticks them to the water.
Are they just distracted by it because they're like, what the fuck?
Because they don't know what they are.
Right.
They're distracted by it, and then also when they, as the vortex is like sucking them up.
And as Deku explains to us the physics of water.
They get sucked up into the center, and then the water shoots back upward, and all of them are now stuck into a ball.
Right, yes.
As they fly into the air.
And also as Suyu leaps away, holding Deku and Mineta, and, like, compliments them. Should compliment Deku, but, like, I don't think Mineta did that much.
I mean, he did help, unfortunately.
Okay, no, he was helpful, but she says that they're both really cool, which is not true.
Which is not true.
Or I think she says they're both really impressive or something like that, which is still not true.
And then she says, I guess we passed the Shipwrecked Zone.
And the episode ends. And the next episode is episode 11, Game Over. Which first aired June 12th, 2016 in Japan, and June 21st, 2018 in English.
I can't wait to talk to you about my favorite Spy Kids movie.
I can't believe you would do this to me.
Spy Kids 3D.
It is, yeah.
Featuring 5 different Sylvester Stallones.
That's... Oh, boy, there's a lot of actors in that movie.
There's a lot of actors in that movie, yeah. Steve Buscemi is in that movie.
Is he not in all of them?
No, he's only in the second and third.
Is it Danny Trejo that's in all of them?
Danny Trejo is in all of them, yes. He's their uncle.
Right. Machete.
He's also in all the Machete movies, so he's in basically every movie in that cinematic universe, I think. Except maybe whatever the fuck that 4th Spy Kids movie is, because I never saw that.
Right. I wonder if he's in the animated series. Sorry, welcome to our Spy Kids watch.
No, hang on, what the fuck?
There's an animated series.
There's
on
an
Netflix.
Animated Spy Kids series?
Yeah, on Netflix.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's any good.
Holy shit, welcome to our fucking Spy Kids animated Netflix watchcast. Next season.
This episode. The start of this episode is like a weird, just, here's some scenes from the last one. But not like restructured to like feel natural like they have been in previous episodes.
Yeah,
it's very, I don't know.
Just like, here's some highlights in a spontaneous order.
Yeah.
When we get back to where we left off, Deku, Mineta, and Sue kind of just swimming. Yeah,
they're swimming towards the edge of the Shipwrecked Zone lake.
Yeah, they've landed in the lake, and they're talking about like where they should go next.
It's gonna be so expensive to fix this place.
Yeah, Imagine how expensive it was to build.
Yeah, I mean, 13 had that Universal Studios money. God, you know what? Fucking
people with quirks could make potentially really good actors and special effects artists.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
God, that would be cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
I would love a show like this where, like, set in the same exact universe.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just focusing on what people with quirks do when they aren't pro heroes.
Right.
They're discussing what their next course of action should be.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about trying to get over to the top of the plaza where 13
basically,
was.
like, skirt the shore of the lake towards the plaza so they can avoid the fight that's happening in the middle.
But then Deku is like, wait a minute, no, hang on.
Hold on.
Aizawa is alone.
Professor Aizawa is not meant to fight groups of big people. And he's like, now hold on, though. We're gonna be heroes.
Okay, KO, let's be heroes.
And Mineta is, of course, not into this idea. Sue also is not into this idea. She's like, that's stupid, Midoriya. We can't do that.
But they do eventually agree to just check. Just check on him.
There's a bit where, I don't remember when, like, the context of this, but Deku is muttering to himself, and Sue is just, like, staring straight ahead, and is like, that's creepy, please stop. Oh,
I love that running gag.
But Deku is like, we have to do this. We can't fight the villains. We can't really fight them, but maybe we can just take some of the load off of Professor Aizawa. We should at the very least scout out what's happening. And Sue and Mineta seem to at least agree to that.
And then we cut to the landslide zone.
Yeah.
Where we see Todoroki.
Who has frozen even more villains this time. And he basically chides them for losing to a kid.
Yes. Todoroki is such a fucking... in this scene, is so villain aesthetic.
Well, he says, aren't you supposed to be adults? This is disgraceful. And two villains, like, try to get the drop on him, and he just freezes them in their place.
And he just sort of just analyzes the situation, just out loud to himself, and is like, hey, these guys suck.
These guys are really weak and useless.
These are like low-level villains.
But if they wanted to kill All Might, they must have something up their sleeve. And he approaches one of the villains that he's frozen and explains, so if you stay frozen, your cells are going to slowly die. But, lucky for you, I want to be a hero. And he, like, places his hand near the face of one of the villains. And, like, a little bit of cool air blows on his face. And he's like, so tell me what your plan is.
To kill All Might,
and I'll let you go. And then we cut from that scene. Which, yeah, that sure is.
Yeah, he's so, like, just his whole aesthetic, mixed with the way he talks about things, and also the fact that seems to be, like, the most powerful student.
Besides, like, Bakugo.
Yeah, and I guess Deku, but also Deku breaks his body whenever he uses his powers.
Deku has the potential to be powerful, but isn't yet, whereas Todoroki and Bakugo are just there.
But also, Bakugo will never be a popular pro hero because his personality is hot garbage on fire. And then we cut to the Mountain Zone with Yaoyorozu, Electric Boy, and Earbud Girl.
Who are fighting off some more villains. They're, like, basically backed up against a wall and surrounded, and, like, Earbud Girl has a sword?
Yes. And I think we also see Yaoyorozu pull a metal pole out of her thigh. And the Electric Boy is like, hey, can I have anything? Can I have a weapon?
And Earbud Girl tells him, like, you have electric, just zap them. And he explains that, no, were you not paying attention during the training exercise? I can cover my whole body in electricity, but if I try to send it out, it'll shock everyone. And that includes you. So I'm counting on you to save me. And there's a very good line where Girl is like, well, you sure are a damsel in distress.
And then there's a very good bit where one of the villains, like, charges Earbud Girl, and she, like, manages to spin him around and kick the electric boy into him, and that...
While she yells that he'll be her human stun gun.
And that stuns him. And
as this is happening, Electric Boy is like, wow, this is really good. I'm super powerful. You don't worry about anything, girls. You can count on me. It's very funny. It's a nice bit of levity.
Yes. Which I believe also Earbud Girl responds with, "You are exhausting."
And then another villain tries to charge at her, and she, like, grabs one of her headphone jacks, slots it into her leg.
Yes.
Which has a speaker on it, and just blasts him with sonic force. And then we get a present mic zoom in and explanation that she is Kyoka Jiro. Her quirk. Did you not write it down?
I didn't write it down.
Damn it.
What's it called? Shit.
It was something amplification? Was it just amplification?
Maybe? Fuck. I'm so dumb.
She can emit sound waves.
Yeah.
And also she can hear real good.
She emits sound waves by converting her heartbeat into super loud noises.
Her English voice actress is Trina Nishimura, who is Mikasa Ackerman in Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Who I think is like the like female lead of that show. I've never watched Attack on Titan because it's fascist.
Yeah, I was about to say, speaking of anime fans liking Nazis.
And she's also Nadi in El Cazador de la Bruja, which is a very good Western anime that no one's ever seen except me.
What? A Western anime?
By which I mean it's a Western.
Oh, not an anime from the West.
Yeah.
Okay. Love that the title is in Spanish also.
Yeah. Her Japanese voice actor is Kei Shindo, who is Vulpix in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, also Executor. I can never pronounce that Pokemon's name.
Executor. She's Vulpix in just Ultimate?
Yeah. And this is not a thing I've ever heard of or seen, but this character appeared multiple times on her page.
Okay.
Bentoko Ryobi in Iki Tosen.
Okay.
Don't know what the fuck that is, but,
you know,
it's all I got.
Fair enough.
And then Yaoyorozu, as more villains are coming.
And although some of them are getting caught up in the
shockwave. Yeah. One of the villains tries to, like, hit Electric Boy with a rock, and Jiro just destroys it, and then he gets caught in the electricity.
Yes.
And another villain tries to, like, leap at Electric Boy, but Yaoyorozu pulls a net out of her body and captures him. And then she, like, leans over and is like, it takes a little while for me to make something this big, but it's ready. And a fucking giant blanket emerges from her body, from her back, and covers her and Jiro. And the villains are like, why do you have a blanket? Are you gonna take a nap now? And Yaoyorozu sort of lifts the blanket up for a second. I think actually, as the blanket is emerging from her body, we get a present Mick? We get a present Mick Jagger. We get a present Mike zoom in on her face, an explanation that her quirk is, she can, like, create any matter from her body as long as she knows the molecular composition.
Right.
Which I explained before.
Right.
She lifts the blanket up and explains that it's several inches of insulation.
Yes. Which lets Electric Boy just do his thing. Yeah.
He like zaps all of the villains as he yells, "Now I can fry all of you without hurting my friends!" And he just electrocutes all of the villains and they all pass out.
And
as the smoke clears,
Yaoyorozu sort of lifts the insulation and is like, "Hell yeah!" And Jiro, and Jiro is like, "Hey,
you're naked."
Because the blanket had to rip out of her suit.
It sure did.
Through her back. Despite all the holes in it.
Yeah.
It's a big object, but could she not have conjured it rolled up?
Yeah, I don't know.
But she's like, no, it's fine.
I can just make some new clothes. And Jiro is, like, sort of in awe of Yaoyorozu and how cool she is.
And then also sees Electric Boy sort of wandering outside.
We've heard his name at this point. It's Kaminari.
Yeah. I forgot when we heard it, so I wanted to avoid saying it.
That's fair. He wanders by and Jiro tries to cover Yaoyorozu.
But that's not a concern.
No.
Because Kaminari has been real fucked up. And we get, he is just sort of wandering around with a dull smile on his face.
Holding up 2 thumbs.
And we get a present mic thing about him. I didn't write down his full name because I'm a dumbass.
Dinky Kaminari.
For a second I thought you said Dinky? Like D-I-N-K-Y?
Dinky Kaminari.
Dinky Kaminari. His quirk is electrocution or something. I didn't write any of these down. I failed you.
You're a bastard. His quirk is electrocution. And he can send out several, like, 100 volts or something of electricity from his body, but if he goes over his voltage limit, he turns into a, quote, huge idiot. Listen to him babble.
He's short-circuited his brain.
Which is, I don't know how I feel about that joke. I don't know how I feel about anything with this.
Yeah, I think I'm fine with it, personally.
Okay.
Just because it seems, I don't know, it doesn't seem ableist to me.
Okay.
Because it's just, he fried his brain.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not a permanent state or anything.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But they sort of, like, regroup, or Yaoyorozu and Jiro regroup, and Denki is just standing there. Kaminari is just standing there. And that we get, like, a zoom out as they do that and see a hand emerge from the ground.
Yes.
Zombie style. And then we cut. And as that scene ends, we see, like, they're sort of, like, regrouping. Kaminari is just coincidentally also there, I guess. And, like, a hand bursts out of the ground zombie-like as we cut away from them.
And then we cut back to see how Aizawa's doing. And he's just dealing with a bunch of villains while the hand guy is watching and sort of monologuing to himself and also to Aizawa, I think.
I don't know who he's monologuing.
You know, villain's got a monologue.
Is he monologuing to Birdbrain? Is Birdbrain listening to this?
He's right next to him, I think, so...
Aizawa, like, basically takes out all of the low-level villains around him. And then he, like, sets his sights on Handman.
Who is now running at him also.
Yes.
And also counting. He's saying, like, first it was 32, then it was 23.
Then 17. And Aizawa also...
At this point...
refers to Handman as final boss.
Yeah. Just literally. Like, he just says, final boss!
And Aizawa, like, moves in to, like, elbow the Handman in his stomach. But the Handman grabs him.
Yes. And also continues, he explains the numbers thing. He
explains that at first it was hard to tell what was happening while you were jumping around, but I found your tell. When you have to blink, your hair stops floating. And Aizawa's hair stops floating. And the Handman has grabbed his elbow, and his elbow starts to fucking disintegrate.
Yeah! The skin breaks off, and we see muscles underneath, and it's super gross.
Yep.
And also, meanwhile, the kids are here.
The kids have arrived.
They have gotten out of the lake and are sort of watching from behind a rock.
They're in the lake.
Right,
but
they're
are
in the
behind
lake.
the rock.
But behind a rock.
Well, actually, no, they're just in the lake in the opening. In the open?
I guess so, yeah.
Because of a thing that happens later.
Mm-hmm.
Aizawa reactivates his quirk and deactivates the handman's and leaps away. And is like, oh shit, he destroyed my elbow.
I think also the handman.
I think we've heard his last name at least at this point from some of the other villains.
Probably.
It's Shigaraki.
Shigaraki, okay. Shigaraki makes some comment about how even after getting his elbow real fucked up, Aizawa's still so cool.
And then is like, oh, by the way, I'm not the final boss. And the bird brain is behind Aizawa. And Aizawa's like, oh shit, when did he get there? And Shigaraki introduces us to the bird brain. And explains that he is the bioengineered anti-symbol of peace. But you can call him Nomu. And Nomu just fucking grabs Aizawa. And we cut away as we see, like, his goggles fly off of his face and a spurt of blood. And we just, like, see Deku's reaction to Nomu, presumably just, like, slamming Aizawa into the ground.
And it's a horrified reaction, which is pretty valid.
Like, Deku literally looks like he's about to throw up.
And then we cut to the Ruins Zone, the wiki calls this.
I think the subtitles in the show are like Collapse Zone or something.
Okay.
It's a collapsed building.
Right. And we see Bakugo and Kirishima.
And who are fighting off villains.
And we see them just sort of finish off the last of the villains in this room.
Kirishima is like kind of regretful that everyone got separated. And he's like, hey, we should go find everyone. They're probably still in the USJ since we are.
And Bakugo's like, nope,
I gotta go fuck up that portal guy. And Kirishima is like, why would you do that? We know that our punches won't work on him. And also, like, we've messed up. We blocked 13.
But Bakugo does explain.
Yeah.
Hey, he's the portal guy.
He's the escape route. If we take him out, they can't leave.
And Kirishima is kind of impressed.
Yeah, he's like, oh, hey, you're not usually this calm. Usually you're like, and there's a little speech bubble with Bakugo just shouting, die, die, die.
And then Bakugo yells at Kirishima saying, I'm calm and rational all the time. And Kirishima's like, yeah, like that.
Yeah, there you are. And we see, like, in the corner, a, like, camouflaged form moving over the ceiling. And then a villain appears, a chameleon villain appears behind Bakugo and is like, you kids should have checked your six. And
he's got a knife. He's about to stab Bakugo in the back.
But Bakugo just grabs his face and explodes it. And he's like, well, if they're all chumps like this, then we'll be fine. Let's go help our friends, I guess. And Kirishima is like, yeah, now you're thinking like a man.
I do like Kirishima's attempts at non-toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I like Kirishima a lot. We'll see some more fun stuff with Kirishima later in the show. Also, he and Bakugo are dating. That's later, though.
Can't wait. And then we get another sort of short montage of the other kids in their respective zones, beating villains.
I think we see the tail boy, like, again, leaping through the fire zone, and it's like, I gotta go save everyone.
He's also pretty impressive.
Yeah,
he's
cool.
Also fighting these guys solo.
He's I don't know if we ever see him fighting any of the villains, but
he's avoiding them.
Avoiding them, but is avoiding them effectively, which is impressive on its own.
We also see the quiet boy with the shark head.
Yeah, like acting as a distraction for some villains that Tokoyami takes out. And there's a cute bit where they give each other a thumbs up.
Uh-huh.
And we see that Tokoyami just has a normal human hand, which is disgusting.
Would it... I assume you were expecting like a Tengu style, like a clawed parrot
like
hand.
A claw or like wings.
Like a falco.
Yeah.
Like just feathered hand.
Uh-huh.
Feathered... I hate the feathered hands, honestly.
That's fair.
Because the thing that gets me is, do they have fingernails?
Well, usually, I guess...
Does Donald Duck or Falco Lombardi have fingernails?
If it was feathered hands, but with talons...
Yes,
that would be good.
That would be fine. I'd be fine with that. But we never see the talons.
We never see the talons, you're right.
And
retractable talons like birds have.
Yeah, like birds have.
Anyway, I think we see like the villain emerging from the ground to attack Jiro and Yorozu and Kaminari.
Right. The guy who pushed his hand out earlier. Mm-hmm. I forget how they handle that though.
They don't. We don't see them handle it.
And we see again Ida making his escape and getting through the door just in time to escape Kurogiri. And we see him running off to call for backup. Mm-hmm. And Kurogiri is like, well, we're done now. We're done now.
That's it.
If he's gonna call more pro heroes in here, we're fucked.
And he like teleports away from the entrance. And we see him. He appears next to Shigaraki.
Yes, we cut back to Aizawa, who is still getting real fucked up by Nomu.
And he's like, Tomura Shigaraki. And Shigaraki is like, Kurogiri.
And Donkey is like, Donkey!
And he explains the situation to Shigaraki. And Shigaraki starts like nervously scratching at the sides of his face that are exposed.
Yes, which he's been doing a little bit of.
We've seen a little bit of that, yeah.
Which I noticed. And when he starts just kind of having a breakdown in frustration at not getting to kill All Might.
And then he says, shit. End of the game. Game over. No continues.
He said, he says it's game over. Back to the title screen. And also we see his like neck.
Yeah.
When he's scratching at his skin, like we see the skin underneath the hand clinging to his neck, and it's like very chafed and which you might imagine from having a hand gripping your neck all the time.
He seems to have a skin disorder. I don't know if that's like the right term to use. Which is problematic to have your villain like have a thing like that and not have that be true for any of the heroes.
Right.
I don't know enough about that sort of thing to really speak too much on it, but I would feel bad if we didn't at least acknowledge that.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's kind of shitty.
And there is stuff to be said for like, it's a lot of the show involves some degree of disability metaphor so far.
Sure.
But also that's not the same as depicting a real disability, and putting that on a villain is still kind of like, if the heroes get metaphor and the villains get the actual disability, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah. And Shigaraki is like, well, gotta leave.
But not yet.
Because,
if they're gonna leave, might as well get some murder in.
We see a reflection of Sue in his eye. As he leaps toward her. And Deku sees this happening and like remembers Aizawa's fucked up elbow. And there's like a horror imagine bit where he just sees Sue dissolving completely. And he's like, oh fuck, oh shit, what do I do?
And he's preparing to throw some kind of punch. Except also is like, I can't do that. I can't completely fuck up my arm.
But before Deku can do anything, right as Shigaraki's hand is like inches away from Sue's face. And Sue like isn't moving at all because she's probably having a panic attack.
And also, this is anime, so he's probably moving faster than it actually transpires.
Yes. His hand is inches away from her face, and then he's like, and turns, and is like, you really are so cool. And we see that Aizawa, his head, like, gripped in Nomu's grass, is like, has managed to wrench up and is staring at Shigaraki and deactivating his quirk. And Deku takes this opportunity and is like, oh crap, oh shit, fuck! And prepares to leap up and smash Shigaraki, and does so.
Yeah, and then for a second, like, the fucking shockwaves come off the punch, and I think he does actually yell smash also.
Yes, he does.
And the shockwaves come off the punch and, like, shatter a bunch of lights around the USJ. And as the smoke starts clearing, he's like, hey!
My hand's not fucked up.
Yeah!
I did it. I mean, this is the time when I do it? That's kind of lame, but alright. And then he looks up, and Nomu is there.
He has punched Nomu in the stomach, except Nomu has not gone anywhere.
Nomu is not hurt at all. And this Deku realizes, he, like, flashes back to Sue, mentioning that, hey, they must have some way to kill All Might. And he's like, oh shit, this guy must be as strong as All Might. And Shigaraki, like, leans around Nomu, is, like, behind him.
Yeah, because Nomu has, like, dived into the way.
And Shigaraki is like, that smash of yours. Are you one of All Might's disciples? And
then there's sort of a complex arrangement of events, as it's almost fucking Mexican standoff style of Shigaraki, like, again reaching for Sue, and Nomu is about to beat the shit out of Deku, and Sue is like readying her tongue to block Nomu from beating the shit out of Deku because she wants to save Deku.
And also Mineta's drowning.
We didn't
mention earlier, but Sue drowned Mineta, and he's dead now.
He's not dead now, presumably, unfortunately, but she did drown Mineta. That is a thing that happened. He said a gross thing, and she just dunked him headfirst into the water and just held him there as she was talking with Deku.
He's also, like, not visible.
Yeah,
he hasn't been visible since, I think.
I guess because fucking just serious moment comic relief character fucking segregation. Like, they are just putting a wall between the serious things that happen in the show and Mineta being on screen. And as this is going down, it's all very slow motion and stuff. But then we hear something. We hear the door
to the USJ
open, or slam open, probably.
And, like, emerging from a cloud of dramatic smoke.
All the villains sort of slowly turn to look. We see All Might. In full buff mode. And also grimacing.
Yeah, not smiling. And he tells the students not to worry.
Because I am here.
And he, like, throws his jacket on the ground.
And, which I fucking love, because I love when a character is just wearing, like, a fucking button-up shirt and a tie, and maybe I think he does have suspenders.
I
can't remember if he has suspenders. I want him to have suspenders.
Yeah, I think he has a belt, though.
That's a shame. You could have both.
I don't think you can.
Just for the look.
I mean, you could. They serve the same purpose, though.
Yeah. And Shigaraki looks at him and says, looks like our game's getting a continue.
And also, Deku is like, oh, All Might's here. Oh, All Might's here. And then the episode ends.
Yeah. And then next time, All Might.
All Might's here.
That's just the name of the episode, is All Might. And All Might says in the voiceover, not to spoil anything, but I get the shit kicked out of me.
Basically, yeah. So just a disclaimer before we start talking about
yes.
the episodes, that
these episodes were very complex and my notes were insufficient.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna try to edit some stuff around, but some stuff in our summary might be a little out of order. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't super matter. We covered all the important scenes. Yeah.
And like we covered them in the order that they happen.
Yes.
Mostly.
That's the thing, is there's so much cutting in these episodes.
Yeah.
And also, I will again reiterate that the fucking My Hero Academia wiki is not satisfactory in its summaries to me.
I mean, yeah. It's not for us.
It's not for us, but, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to go back to, like, doing full-on scene-by-scene, line-by-line recaps, because those are still a little...
Yeah, and this is already overwrought. So long, given what we're doing.
Uh-huh. But I need to at least be able to write down the important things and when they happen in what order.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, these episodes...
These episodes are really good.
Yeah. Like...
I wish Mineta was in them less, but...
We didn't talk about it, but there is a lot of, like, narration from Deku.
Yes.
Where he's, like... We didn't know that we would be fucked up.
Oh, that's right. I wrote that down and I didn't even remember to mention it. But yeah.
He basically, like, is, like, the true evil of villains. We were not prepared for it.
We looked at the villains and we saw pure evil.
Yeah, Which is, like, I think the show does a very good job of making these villains seem pure evil.
Yeah.
They do some nasty shit. I mean, like, the minor villains don't, like, they're still trying to kill children.
Yeah.
But...
I'm actually not sure how I feel about that.
Really?
'Cause, okay, like, they do a good job of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's a worthwhile thing to do.
Okay.
'Cause that's not super interesting to me, and I don't understand their motivations.
That's fair. We'll get their motivation later.
Okay, because I just don't understand, like, in general, like, villains.
Mm-hmm.
So far, all of the ones except for, like, Shark Boy, have been actively super malicious. Like, more so than villains in comic book stories tend to be.
Right.
Mainly because, you know, fucking comics code and shit for a while, and also media generally frowns on having beloved characters attempt to kill children.
Right. Kurogiri isn't, like, he doesn't do much that's super malicious besides fuck up 13.
Yeah.
He's very polite. Despite, you know, threatening everyone.
Yeah.
And wanting to kill All Might.
And that's the other thing, like, we get some touches on, like, well, it would make sense for them to want to kill All Might because All Might is the symbol of peace and stands against villainy, and, you know, if he's dead, then villains will have one less big problem to worry about.
Right. Oh, before we continue this conversation, I didn't mention Shigaraki's voice actor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was voiced by Eric Vale in English, who is Yuki Soma in Fruits Basket.
Okay.
Phoenix Wright in the Ace Attorney anime.
Really?
Which is interesting because that's not the voice actor in the games. And Future Trunks in Dragon Ball.
Okay, I'll complain about so many Dragon Ball characters' names. But also, I kind of love Future Trunks. It's better than just Trunks.
Yeah.
Like, just Trunks, I'm like, that's a stupid name.
Yeah.
If you add a future to it, and I'm like, I'm on board now. You've got me, now reel me in.
His Japanese voice actor is Koki Uchiyama, who is the voice of Jake Long in the Japanese dub of American Dragon Jake Long.
Okay. Sure.
He's Akira Fudo / Devilman in Devilman Crybaby.
Okay.
And Roxas in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and also Soul Eater in Soul Eater.
Okay. Fucking Shiragaki looks like a Soul Eater character.
He really does, yeah. So, I understand that. I understand that you don't, like... Sympathetic villains are interesting, definitely.
Yeah. I'm not asking for them to be sympathetic, necessarily. They're just not that interesting to me right now.
That's fair.
Except again, like Kurogiri's like polite facade, if it is a facade, or if it is just like, you know, he just wants to be nice while committing murders.
We talked about like the sort of like horror aesthetic of some of the villains in our last episode, and I kind of like viewing them, like viewing Shigaraki and like the shit he does as like horror. Like him fucking up Aizawa is really scary.
Yes.
And he doesn't need a complex motivation for that to be scary and effective.
Sure.
Villains just showing up and wanting to kill All Might on a field trip is scary.
Right. So it works. I'm just not sure how to feel about the villain so far.
Right.
I'm not saying they need to be sympathetic necessarily, because I mean there's little chance of that happening for several of these guys already. Nomu I don't think has a personality. It seems like.
Yeah. Oh, also we didn't mention Aizawa tries to erase Nomu's quirk.
Oh, right.
But Nomu is still super strong.
Which means he's got other powers that aren't super strength.
Or he's a fucking heteromorphic.
Or he's heteromorphic. He's just innately strong.
I think his strength comes from the bioengineering that Shigaraki mentioned.
Okay. So I guess that doesn't, because it's not naturally occurring, it doesn't count as a quirk, and so
I think
Aizawa can't cancel it. Nomu's canceled.
He sure is.
But yeah.
And again, we will get more of these characters' motivations later. I don't think we get them in this season, unfortunately.
We also didn't talk about Shiragaki responding to Shigaraki responding to Kurogiri with his bad news that, you know, he let a kid out by mistake, and they're dead now. They're done. Which is basically being like, if you were not our way out of here, I would kill you.
Yeah,
which
so,
also,
like, villains tend to be sort of a tense situation.
Yes. I think the thing is, like, Kurogiri as a Grilby-esque bartender-dressed dude just polishing a glass in a bad guy bar was, like, the aesthetic I wanted.
Yeah.
And these got, like, I think maybe it is just, like, Shigaraki is the fucking Galactus to the rest of these villains in Justice League. You know, those two entities from the same universe.
He's the fucking Darkseid.
Darkseid?
Wait, is it Darkseid?
I think it's Darkseid.
It's spelled like seed. It's spelled like a German word.
Seid, yeah.
Okay, sure.
But yeah. What was the fuck was I? Kurogiri. Oh, it might just be the villains occasionally play well with each other, but like Kurogiri is an example of one who maybe plays well with the others, but Shigaraki is just like, hey, I want very badly to kill this one guy, and if you aren't useful to me in doing that, I will fucking murder you. And then Nomu is something that probably Shigaraki created, or had created, to just be a weapon to kill All Might.
I don't remember when we get the explanation for what Nomu is. I think that might be in, like, season 3.
I feel like we know what Nomu is.
We know what Nomu is. We don't know the origin of Nomu.
His origin story, you might say.
Nomu origin.
But yeah, also I did appreciate how little Bakugo we got in these episodes.
And what Bakugo we did get wasn't, like, the worst.
Yeah.
He was replaced with Mineta.
Unfortunately, but
oh, he's so bad. I hate Mineta so much.
He's very bad. I wish he was dead.
I wish he was drowned.
I wish Suyu had just casually killed him.
Casually killed Mineta, and no one ever mentions it.
How'd this fucking trash baby get into UA?
I don't remember.
With his shitty fucking quirk.
Yeah, there is also there's a point where Mineta is crying, and Sue is like, are you sure you're cut out for this, bud? And Mineta's like, it sucks. This sucks. But also, are you sure you're cut out for this, bud?
Are you sure you're cut out for this, bud? He should be one of the heroes who just isn't a hero and just does something else. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just good episodes. Mm-hmm.
Also, the stuff with Yaoyorozu being naked is gross.
It's kind of gross.
Need to be there. And I was going to mention this.
It feels like it's played more for comedy than for fan service.
Well, yes, sure, but also like. The fact that her clothing rips when she creates that blanket is another example of, hey, her outfit, despite the explanation for why it is the way it is, maybe isn't best suited for her quirk. Mm-hmm. Maybe a fucking sports bra would give her more backspace.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We refuse to regret our words and deeds.
Yeah.
And we should not. We should refuse, is what I was going for there. Okay. Anyway, Jiro and Yaoyorozu are dating.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still love Kaminari.
He's good.
His quirk is fun. We also didn't mention this, but like he's also got like some communications.
Oh
stuff.
Yeah, he has like he has like a headset, and he mentions that it's also cut off from contact.
Which I guess I think they say is part of his quirk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's implied at least.
Okay.
Which is cool. Like, electric waves. I don't think that's accurate, but would love to see like a superhero whose power is like manipulating like fucking microwaves and radio waves and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a lot in these episodes,
right?
And it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how to talk about it. It's a lot happening.
We've also gotten to like the point where we can really see like the way this show does big fights.
Yes,
and the focus on characters instead of just like individual like. Oh, he's charging his Kamehameha.
Right. It is like this is a fight that has so far lasted 2 episodes and is going into the next.
Mm-hmm. And has maybe like has lasted a total of 48 minutes in real time, but has maybe been like 20 minutes within the show.
And like it works though.
Yeah, it works.
It's very engaging still, and like it also helps that it's focusing on a variety of characters. Yeah. Like we get those cuts to like, how's Todoroki doing? He's fucking them all up real good. How are Bakugo and Kirishima doing? They're big like bantering. We get the whole bit again with Jiro and Yaoyorozu and Kaminari.
Also, like the Deku's panic as he's trying to figure out how to deal with Shigaraki is done very well, I think. I don't know what to say beyond that. I don't think I had a point beyond. I like it.
All of Deku's internal monologuing is really good. Like, and just like helps set the scene really well and give us a little like rundown. It does feel like also this is another thing I wanted to mention. Sue mentioning at the end of the first episode, I guess we got past the Shipwrecked Zone. I was going to make a joke earlier about Shipwrecked Zone sounds like a fucking Sonic level.
Sure,
but like
does.
That's clearly intentional.
Yeah, because of Shigaraki's gaming references. Yes. His elite gamer references.
And also the whole show's gaming references, because this is a recurring motif now.
It sure is.
Of like video game comparisons. Which is, I think, pretty fun.
Yeah. It's not obtrusive. Even if you don't like it.
But it also does make me think a lot of fucking surprise tabletop games. Just because you often have all these like different weird moments, like different elements in play all at once with like a diverse cast of characters all with very different skill sets. And like Deku's methods of dealing with his problems are always like very like, how do I fucking rules lawyer this to work in my favor in a way that's really engaging?
Yeah.
Like, just him using the fucking physics explanation he does with the water vortex that he creates is extremely like old school D&D of like, explaining to the DM, well, actually, if I did this, then this should happen logically.
The water will swirl around and then come right back to the middle. I really like Deku as a protagonist.
Yeah.
Because he's like, his quirk is on the surface really boring. Like, he hit good. He do the smash. But like, one, the limitations on it from the start, like, he doesn't have control over it yet.
Right.
And even, like, he's inevitably going to get control of it at some point.
At some point, probably, yeah.
But, like, the fact that he's... I don't want to be like the fact that he's smart, but that kind of is what it is.
That is, yeah.
The fact that he's a loser nerd who studied heroes for a long, long time, for his whole life, and, like, has analyzed all these great fights, it makes watching him in fights much more interesting, because he's not just doing the smash good. He thinks about how to smash before he smashes.
Yes. Which is very cool, and, like, us getting to hear his internal monologue of him figuring out what to do.
And also,
really fun.
his emotions when he smashes are on full display for us to see, and are always, like, really compelling to me.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not only that he's smart, it's that he's genre savvy.
Yeah.
Which can be annoying with certain
he's not
characters.
I don't think that he ever gets to the, like, obnoxious level of genre savvy, because, like, he still panics. He's not always like, oh, I know exactly what to do. He panics, and then he has to figure out, oh shit, what? Hold on, give me a second. Which helps. Which, like, he isn't smug about anything ever.
He feels very realistically like the ideal of those isekai stories and stuff, where, like,
which doesn't exist. The ideal isekai?
Oh, right. Of, like, this nerd who gets transported to a fantasy realm or whatever, and they know fantasy shit, so they know what to do.
Yeah, and those protagonists are always like, I know, I have a sword, and you're weak to slashing damage. I bet this person who's been living in this world for years doesn't know about the slashing damage trick. Oh, that's a slime? Don't cut that in half. No, you gotta stab it. I hate isekai.
But, like, he is that archetype, but done well.
Yeah.
And performed very realistically as, like, yeah, this is probably what a fucking weak-ass nerd boy would, how he would act in a scenario where he has been given a specific superpower with special rules, and also is fighting actual supervillains, which is, like, puzzling out their motivations and figuring out what he needs to, like, not just their motivations, but, like, how much they know, like, him figuring out that, hey, they don't actually know what the fuck our quirks are, we can use that to our advantage.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of thing is very fun. I think it is because he is, it always feels triumphant.
Yeah.
When he figures stuff out like that, because he is so scared and meek and very concerned and panicky.
It doesn't feel like he just read the script, basically.
Yes.
It feels like he genuinely figured it out.
Yes. It feels very deserved.
And like, also, he's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
He's not horny.
He just wants to help. He is trying to emulate Kachan.
Well,
but a little bit. Specifically to scare the villains.
That bit was really funny.
Yes.
Also.
I just have to act like Kachan. Now die!
He even, like, poses like Bakugo in that bit.
I didn't even notice that.
But yeah.
He's good. The show's good. I'm excited to see what the fuck happens with All Might.
Next week is the finale.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, next week is the last 2 episodes of season 1.
Oh, I didn't even realize how close we were.
Yeah. We could go into season 2, but it's twice as long.
Yeah, we should maybe wait.
Wait. Yeah, All Might's here, and he's fucking pissed.
I can't believe so much, like, again, this isn't necessarily a complaint, because, again, they handle it better than shows like Dragon Ball or whatever. But I do love that just, like, a substantial percentage of this one season is this one fight
Yes.
in this one building.
That's the show. That's
Okay.
also... I haven't looked at, like, how long each episode is in the manga. Like, what is the correlation between these episodes and certain chapters of the manga?
Right, yeah.
I think they might be even more chapters.
Really?
Like, I think these 2 episodes might total 5 chapters of the manga.
Wow.
I could be wrong about that, but I think I'm right.
I guess you could, there is, like, other details and stuff you could add, or even, like, just depicting it in a text medium would take longer. Text and pictures.
Right.
I know what a manga is. Just want to make sure no one tries to accuse me of not knowing what the fuck a manga is.
What's a manga?
It's like a comic book, but you read it backwards.
Yeah! Damn, you right! Speaking of manga, there is a very good, like, gag when All Might is talking to Nezu, and it's just his face with a little speech bubble coming out that says, "Oh!"
I don't know if I even noticed that.
I
want to know what the fuck is up with Nezu, also. Nezu's more interesting to me than Nomu.
I don't think the explanation for... I am, like, 90% sure the explanation, beyond what we already know about Nezu, is in Season 3.
Okay.
We know he's probably not human.
Yeah, I guess we know he might be a mouse, or a dog, or a bear.
He's definitely the principal.
He's definitely, most importantly, he is the principal. Don't forget.
Don't fucking forget that he's the principal.
Don't fucking forget it.
You
already know who it is. It's Nezu. It's Principal Nezu. Thanks for listening. As always, you can find me at Frylord Zarek on Twitter.
And you can find me at Lorena27.
And you can find the show at late_school.
And thank you to Soichi Sakagami for use of the song True. Go Beyond. Do you want to try to do it simultaneously? It's probably going to fuck up, but we can try it.
Let's try it. Okay. I don't know why we needed to crack our knuckles for that.
I did it because you did it.
Go Beyond plus Ultra!
Pretty good.
I did find it. I found the Disney album.
Can you explain what...
Yeah.
Can you explain the context of this?
So we were talking about That's What I Call Music, as you do.
Yeah.
And I remembered the existence of a series of albums that were apparently a smaller series than I remembered. There's only 2 versions of this that are from the United States.
Oh.
But it's an album series called We Love Disney, which is about just modern-day pop artists performing Disney musical songs. And can I just read you a couple of
Sure.
A couple of examples?
Sure.
So, of course, the first track on the album, of course, is "Friend Like Me."
Of course.
Specifically by Neo.
I can't. I'm already dead. What year is this album from?
This is from 2015.
2015? And Neo's on it?
Yeah, God. It is a Disney album.
This is now
they are behind.
This is now also going way too long for an opener, so this is going to be the stinger, I guess.
Part of Your World by Jessie J.
Okay, that's for 2015. That makes sense.
That makes sense. We got Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
Feat, now also playing a different animated cat, Jason Derulo.
Great.
Also, I definitely want to mention, there's a couple here. Sorry, this is very important to me. I Want to Be Like You, parentheses, the monkey song, which I did not realize was the full name of the song. Performed by Fallout Boy.
I've heard this.
You have?
I've heard this version of this song and I hate it. It sucks ass.
We've got Zero to Hero.
Just like that.
From Hercules. Performed by one Ariana Grande.
Pull the trigger.
And
press the detonator. Kill us both.
Well, let me do so. Because our sort of final one that I want to mention here. There are other songs, but our final one that I want to mention is Let It Go from Frozen, the classic, performed by Lucy Hale and Rascal Flatts. There is a Disney-sponsored Rascal Flatts cover.
No. Wait, hold on, though. Disney already has an intensely intimate relationship with Rascal Flatts because they performed "Life Is a Highway" for the Cars soundtrack.
You know what? That's absolutely true. I completely forgot about that. This actually makes a sick, disgusting sort of sense.
Welcome to our Disney podcast. I want to make it clear for anyone who's listened this long to the stinger that my distaste for this is not a hipster-like distaste for any pop music, but rather the artists in particular that I find distasteful are ones who suck. Not in terms of their artistic talent, just in terms of who they are as people.
Although sometimes
Ariana Grande is a racist.
Fall Out Boy seem fine.
Yeah, that one I'm a little hipster about.